one aspect that is quite interesting is the placement of the voice. Some people would say that doesn't exist. It's always the same thing. But in fact, there is a difference. You know, in Broadway singing, they use a wonderful placement. They use a more middle of the head, which we could consider a classical placement, blended with a more forward placement. And it's great, and I think it's wonderful. In opera, they really stay all the way placed into the operatic placement. So let me explain a little bit about the placement. The placement is basically the spark, where that voice lights. You can see it like, you know, when you light a match and goes, there's a spark. That's where the sound sparks, initiates. In classical voice, the spark of the voice, where it lights, is right in the middle. If you can, take your finger, and you can knock. There's a bone right between the hard palate and the soft palate. You can use the back of your nail here and bang on it. It's like a little bump. That is right in the middle, here, right in the middle of your head. If I'm singing a more classical placement, the sound sparks right there. It just initiates right there. And the forward placement, or the more pop and jazz and country placement, is more into the mask. The mask placement is about, you know, you can imagine like a square, like a sugar cube, like a centimeter, right here. Ma, 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 you have some of the head, because like I said before in the chapter just before this one, the voice has all three resonators. Everything sings. And when you place the voice more forward, you're more into the mask. You're more like, my funny Valentine. It's more here. It's more like, wow, it's really behind your eyes. It's right there. Although you still have that top part. So if I was singing classical, I go, my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine. So, but if I'm singing more forward, I'm going, my funny Valentine, I'm right here much more in the front. I'm right here much more front than I. So I have in the placement in popular voice, we're here, and as the voice, as the range goes up, we're hitting forward, and as the pitch goes up, you hit here, you hit here, you hit here, you hit here, and then you're hitting straight up, but you're keeping all of this too. You know what I'm saying? You're hitting all of it. So it's like right in the middle, and it's all of this also. Operatic singers use this area all the time. They have to. So, yes, you have to use, it's placed in the middle, but you allow a lot of this resonance to happen also because it gives it a more beautiful sound, and also the chest. But in popular singing, you are here. My. I'm not going, my. I'm more forward. So it's a little strange to talk about it this way, but if you've ever heard a classical singer singing jazz, let's say, or do an album of jazz, they'll really be singing very much like this. It's all like this. While you go, it's all like this, it's all like that. You want to have way more of the mask. It's maybe a question of percentage, if you like. There's a higher percentage of mask and chest and voice. You can do like 30, 60, 40, whatever, if you want to 30, 60, 10, 12, depends on the range. Because as you're moving down the range, the head has to stay open. But you're more forward, and the chest will awaken and give you the dark sounds. So if I'm going, meow, 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 the chest will sing anyways, but you'll be placed forward. The chest sings by frequency. You can't sing inside the chest. You cannot place the voice in the chest. It has to stay here. And this chest rings by sympathy. Because it's its range, because it's its frequency, it'll awaken the resonance and the color of the chest area, but you can't sing in the chest. So if you're saying, if people say it's a chest voice, it can't be. I can't sing like this, it would sound just horrible and ridiculous. But I can sing like that, and I have the chest resonating by sympathy because of the frequency. So placement, head, right in the middle there, then forward in the mask. Then you blend them. They blend. When you're singing really high and pop, they blend those voices, but it's not just up. In classical, it's just up, and they let some of the color of the mask and the chest, they have to, because when they sing the high, high notes, it sits on there, poof, like this, and it's really, really high, but it hits just one spot. It doesn't move. The pop and the jazz placement moves. It goes up and down, so it hits here, then I'm hitting the middle of the mouth, and I'm hitting the top part of the mouth, and I'm blending it all up and down. That's it.